now I got a Crossverses battle for y'all. This is gonna be one of those ones that's like, why are you doing it, Green Angel? Why? But I still gotta let you know. This fight is Karasu versus Genthru. So who's Karasu? Karasu from Yu Yu Hakusho. He was on Team Tagoro. He fought against Kurama in the finals, right? Kurama had to go into Yoko for him to, fight him. And then even that, it wore off. And then their fight was kind of interesting because at the end of it, Karasu died, but then they gave the win to him because Kurama didn't get up in time. The 10 count was like, the time was at like 10 seconds, 10.4 seconds. So he stayed down too long. He never got up after she was, counting for him, right? Of course, he was dead, right? But he never got up off the floor in time. So Karasu ended up winning, even though he was dead. We understand, people who watch Yu Yu Hakusho understand that Kurama is a fucking, boss, right? He's powerful. With that being said, though, this guy Karasu is doing his thing. He uses explosions, similar to Genthru. Genthru is a character from Hunter x Hunter, right? He was in the Greed Island arc. He was known as the Bomber. He was going against Teskera and, going freaks. He was trying to win the game. He put bombs on people. That's his Nen ability. I think he's I don't know what he is. Like, I don't know which category he belongs to. But he can, set bombs on people. Like a time bomb. Boom. And then once, time runs out, your explosions. But there's like conditions for him to use his, Nen ability and other things. He, fucked Gon up pretty good before Gon, put him out, lights out. And that's just a little bit about those characters. They both have like bombing abilities, explosion abilities, right? So we're gonna get these guys fighting each other. First in the UU world, and then in the Hunter x Hunter world. So in Yu Yu Hakusho, they'll be fighting in the Dark Tournament. Strength goes to Karasu. See, this guy's, at weakest, a lower B class demon. At the higher end, he's like mid, mid B class demon. So he's around that area. And B class demons are powerful, and they can destroy countries. So, yeah, strength goes to him, speed goes to Karasu too. See, Kurama couldn't, he didn't even know. And Kurama's good at, sensing shit. And Karasu was already behind him, touching his hair and shit like that. He was like, what the fuck? Get away from me. That guy moves quick. Genthru ain't moving like that, buddy. He's not moving like this guy. Durability goes to Karasu. Even when he was fighting against Yoko, he was taking damage and shit, but, he was, a little bit tougher than, some people thought. And his endurance is, not bad either. He was able to outlast Yoko's, Kurama's Yoko transformation. Intelligence, I'm giving it to Genthru because he had a little plan going. But he had no idea about what was going on with Bisky and, Gon and them, training as far as that goes, and, them increasing their Nen abilities as they're playing the game. He's just like, those are those boys, and we're fighting Teskera, and we're going to win, I have bombs strapped to certain people, we're after certain cards, and he's leading his, faction, and, Karasu is just, following Tagoro. I give the intelligence to, Genthru, but I give the experience to Karasu. Close skills, Karasu. I was gonna give it to Genthru, but then I was like, he can get up close quick and in a hurry, and it ain't like he can't do the same shit as Genthru. He can still create bombs, like he can touch you to make you explode, but he doesn't even have to do that because his range skills are in effect too. Karasu's range skills, he can cause explosions from a distance, invisible bombs. He has little plants or little, bombs that are like, that talk and they're like, ha ha ha, the happy bomb or whatever the fuck it's called. He has all kind of bomb techniques that are better than Genthu's, man. Recoup goes to Karasu, and then hacks go to Karasu as well. And the environment also goes to Karasu because, he knows about the Dark Tournament. That being said, Karasu wins no difficulty. Um, that's a hard pill for some of you, or not Yu fans, but Hunter x Hunter fans to swallow, but that's how it is. Now let's go to Hunter x Hunter, alright, which basically everything's the same except the environment. The environment's in Greed Island. So, strength goes to Karasu, speed, Karasu, durability, Karasu, endurance, Karasu, intelligence, Genthru, experience, Karasu, close skills, Karasu, range skills, Karasu, recoup, Karasu, hacks, Karasu, and then environment, Genthru. But even with that, um, Karasu wins, no difficulty. Watch Yu Yu Hakusho, watch Hunter x Hunter. If you don't agree with me, leave it in the comments. If you agree, leave it in the comments. But, let me know what you think in the comments. And be cool on the corner.